3D printers are perhaps the most eye-catching invention of these past years. Thanks to it, we can print anything in 3D. With new printing materials such as complex plastic, metals, or even cells, its potential is almost limitless. The material commonly used in 3D printing device is plastic, and more precisely, a polymer called polylactic acid, or PLA. Polymers are materials composed of large molecules which present a repetitive structural pattern. Some of them, such as cellulose in wood or DNA, are natural. Others are artificial and are synthesized in laboratories for their interesting properties. Usually, artificial polymers come from petroleum, a fossil fuel which is also a polluting raw material. But there are new ways of producing polymers using biosourced reagent that we can find in nature. These polymers present the advantage of being biodegradable, meaning that they can be degraded quickly by living organisms thanks to their composition. Polylactide, for example, comes from lactic acid, extracted from wood or wheat. This process consumes agricultural waste instead of using petroleum. It is thus a fully biosourced plastic with a life cycle that is energy neutral. To give these properties to a polymer, its production process needs to be fully understood. A simple way of understanding the process of polymerization is to view it as an assembly of blocks called monomers, launched by an initial molecule called initiator. The reaction conditions define the number of different polymer chains and their length. It affects directly the properties of the polymer. Thus, we need to find the best conditions, temperature, pressure, and agitation, allowing to produce a polymer with good properties. PLA synthesis is industrially made using a process which requires a high temperature, 200 degrees. However, the organometallic chemistry and polymerization catalyst team in Chimie Paris developed a new way of synthesis at 20 degrees, consuming less energy. You can check here for a more detailed description of this process. PLA appears to be a model for polymer research for several reasons. It belongs to the class of thermoplastic polymers. They present the property of being reusable. Indeed, they can be reshaped after being melted. On the contrary, thermosetting polymers are hardened by heating and cannot be recycled. PLA is a polymer presenting simultaneously good optical, mechanical, and thermal properties as well as eco-friendly features. This is why it can be of great interest for research. Nowadays, we find polymers almost everywhere. They are even used in medical fields for their various properties. Indeed, they can be used for targeted drug delivery in order to treat cancer. This is one of the research interests of the COCP lab team.